My daughter Kuri has DRPLA, a disease that causes atrophy of the brain. It is hereditary and progressive. There is no cure. Kuri is bedridden. My husband Chiaki passed away 6 years ago from this disease. I wrote OHANA Family in hopes of finding a cure. I pray that I can save my daughter. Chapter 4. To all of you through my blog. In our late 20s, Chiaki and I traveled around the world with our backpacks. We traveled to Asia, the Soviet Union, Europe, Africa, and North America. We visited about 45 countries on that trip. This trip was a wonderful experience that could be called our starting point. We traveled from one country to another as a line, not as a point. So food, houses, culture, and so on changed little by little. We were able to physically feel that the gradual changes in these things, and it was an experience that money can't buy. We had our fights, but we also got to strengthen our bonds as a couple. When I returned to Japan after a year and 3 months on the road, I was very surprised by something. What do you think it was? I rarely see handicapped people on the street of Japan. People in wheelchairs, people who have lost a hand or a leg, people with genetic diseases. It looked very strange to our eyes as we had taken the street of the world for granted. Yes, in Asia, Europe, and the US, handicapped people were commonplace in the scenery. But it is not that there are not many handicapped people in Japan. It is just that there are not many opportunities to see them on the street. Then we moved to Hawaii, and I have been a newspaper reporter for a long time. Once a year, I covered a tour of handicapped people from Japan. When I interviewed them, they all said the same thing. Hawaii is great. Not only the beautiful weather, but the way they look at us is kind. Even though I asked different people each time, they all said the same thing. I thought that it is still hard for handicapped people to live in Japan. But I am not saying that Japanese people are not kind. There are many kind people. It's just that they don't have many opportunities to interact with people with handicaps, so they don't know what to do. That is why I want more and more people to know about life living with illness and handicaps. I think that only by knowing about it, we can look at it with kinder eyes. Our lives are not easy. There are a lot of hardships, but there are also many things that make us happy. I would be happy if, by sharing all of these things, people who read this book could look at a person in a wheelchair the next day and feel kindness. Or if there would be more opportunities to help them, even if only a little. I hope so.